Today I'm putting together the ultimate Christmas wish list guide for people that sew. If you are someone that sews garments, then you need to send this video to your partner, your friends, your family, your loved ones, because I've put together the most incredible selection of gifts for this year. I'm going to link everything in the description below, making your life and their life much easier when it comes to choosing gifts. Now, if you've been following me, you might already have seen my delusional Christmas wish list that I posted recently, and this was all of the wildly aspirational, expensive things I would love to have as someone that sews. But let me tell you, the stuff on that list really was quite delusional. It went up to £5,000 plus. I'll just link it here because it's a really fun video and it's had some really great engagement as well. But this video today is a financially more accessible version. Everything that I'm going to share with you today is much more budget friendly, starting with stocking fillers around £10 to £20. Nothing goes over £200. I think that buying gifts for sewists is really hard. The thing about sewing is it is such a personal hobby, so it's really difficult to know what to buy. Your projects are personal, your fabric choices are personal, your equipment is really personal. And if you're not a sewist yourself, then it's really difficult to know what to get. So that's what this guide is for. I'm going to break everything down by price point, starting with stocking fillers under £20, then moving up to small presents, medium presents, and then there are a couple of larger ticket items. Everything that I've listed here are things that either I own and love myself or would genuinely be thrilled to receive under the Christmas tree. Let's start with the little things, stocking fillers, and small presents for under £20. To begin, I have to talk about Merchant and Mills. I imagine that you already know this brand, but in case you've just been living under a rock, they make the most beautiful, high quality fabrics, tools, and notions. Everything they make feels so special, and the packaging is absolutely stunning. It's very raw materials inspired, very vintage inspired, and so they would just be a lovely gift to receive regardless of what you're getting from them. So here are my top tips from Merchant and Mills for stocking fillers. First of all, they're glass-headed pins. These retail at £5.50, and it's such an accessible way of upgrading your pin collection. These are all Merchant and Mills pins on my magnetic needle holder, which actually, this is from Prim, and this would actually be a really great present to receive as well. They're great quality pins and come in beautiful packaging. Next, we have the Merchants and Mills entomology pins for extra fine fabrics. These are £8 and they are described as the finest, blackest pins for very fine fabrics. They are used for very fine fabrics because they're so thin that they don't pull or leave marks. Absolutely irresistible if you work with delicate fabrics. And it comes in like this little matchbox. Here we have the pins inside some paper packaging. Difficult to show on here, but I will share a video. But this is what the pins actually look like. They also do a bespoke tape measure for £6, a bamboo point turner for £3.50, small black scissors for £12. These are described as tougher than old boots and extremely sharp. They're permanent black steel, really precise, perfect for having next to your sewing machine for snipping threads. And then you also have their maker's journal, which is £15. You can use it to stick in your fabric swatches, plan projects, do drawings. It's just a really beautifully made journal specifically for makers. Okay, now let's talk about the Fabric Godmother because they have some really lovely tools on their website as well. They have this buttonhole gauge in rose gold, which is £15. It's an expanding gauge that gives you fast, accurate measuring for buttons and buttonhole placement specifically. You just lay it over your garment, expand it to the desired length, and then you get perfectly equal distances every time. Really lovely stocking filler. Then from their trim section, I found this double-sided velvet ribbon, which is £6 per metre. This ribbon looks so luxurious. They have it in claret, midnight, and black, which are my favourite festive colours. Perfect for Christmas makes. And if you get a couple of metres of it, so that's £12, you've got enough for a project, and it would look absolutely stunning on any festive make. Next ideas for stocking fillers are Generate tools. These are all available through the Fabric Godmother, but I believe you can get them from other websites as well. The silicone hot hemmer is £20. This is the first of its kind to help you with hemming. It's firm enough to work with bouncy fabrics like wool, heat resistant to 230 degrees, doesn't distort with steam, and one side has a curve and one side is straight. And it's marked with small measurement holes so that you can get a really accurate hem. And they also have a flex version as well, specifically designed for use on curves. I think this is a game changer tool. They also have a new product called Seam Circles. This is around £20. You can use it to add or subtract seam allowance and hem allowances to your sewing patterns. You just roll the edge of the circle along a pattern line. Really clever little tool. Next, for stocking fillers, we have beautiful buttons and notions. If you're a sewist, you know that beautiful buttons really can make or break a project. My absolute favorite button brand is Pigeon Wishes. They make absolutely beautiful buttons in a range of sizes and colorways. Really worthwhile checking out their range. You might not have heard of this brand, but I'm really impressed / obsessed with Joan and Ethel. They make really colorful, beautiful resin-based haberdashery. Everything is handmade. Here's what I recommend from their site. First of all, they're magnetic needle minders. These cost between £10 to £15 depending on the design. They're made in resin. They come in a range of beautiful colorways and designs. So handy for keeping your needles safe whilst you're sewing. Next, they're resin buttons. These come in sets and they're hand-poured epoxy resin. So you can get packs starting from £8 for 8 buttons, going up to about £12 or so. They've got some really beautiful festival designs, turquoise sets, lilac sets. They also do earrings and other jewelry items, which are very cute if you want something a little bit different for Christmas. Next, for stocking fillers, this is very weighty, quite literally. The majority of sewists, myself included, use machine washers as pattern weights. I actually use coasters, which are functional but not beautiful. I recommend needle and bear pattern weights. They're around £10 for a set of 6, and they are so cute and come in lots of different designs, including buttons, sewing machines, different animals. They're really lovely quality and perfect for a stocking filler or small present. And finally, for stocking fillers, we have a rotary cutter. This is my rotary cutter, and it's an absolute game changer when it comes to cutting fabrics such as viscose or anything that's drapey and flimsy. I just put this on my self-healing mat, put the pattern piece on top, put some weights on it, and then I cut out, and it's so much easier than using scissors. This is by Fiskars, and it's about £20. If you don't have a rotary cutter yet, this is a great entry point. Okay, now let's talk about books. These are all £20 and under. My first pick is The Handmade Home by Aruna Kujaraj. The RRP is £19. This is a modern guide to creating a stylish and sustainable home through craft, and it's got 20 beautiful homeware projects. Each project combines creativity with sustainability, and the book itself is just beautiful. You would love to have it on your shelf. You would love to make the project. It's great as a coffee table book. Next, we have The Refashioned Wardrobe. The RRP is £18. This book is all about creating a sustainable capsule wardrobe that is specifically tailored to you to help break that cycle of fast throwaway fashion. What I love about this book is it teaches people how to alter or create completely new garments from pre-loved clothes or forgotten fabrics. Crucially, it looks really beautiful and modern. I find that a lot of upcycling books, the projects can look a little bit garish or childish in terms of the design and homemade in a way that doesn't feel aspirational. But this book is completely different, and the description actually says, and I quote, "This is not the home ec Becky refashioning of old. It's not make, do, amend." And they promise that using the projects in this particular book, that your wardrobe can be as stylish and edgy and as aspirational as anything that the high street can offer. Everything in this book looks beautiful. Finally on my list of books is Dopamine Dressmaking by Brogan Allard. Brogan was on the Sewing Bee. She's one of my favorite sewists to follow on Instagram. What's really novel about this particular book is how the patterns are delivered. Normally with sewing books, what you'll get is a big A0 sheet of paper where they have multiple patterns and multiple sizes all printed on one piece of paper. And then what you have to do is get tracing paper out, you have to trace it off, but it's difficult because sometimes the colors are really similar. It's difficult to differentiate between the different patterns. It's easy to miss a pattern piece. It's difficult to find your size. With this, they have a QR code that you scan, and then it takes you to her publisher's website where it has all of the patterns there that you can download as PDFs and print out. Also, the patterns themselves are really beautiful and timeless. They are a little bit whimsical, which is in line with Brogan's signature style, but her patterns are so accessible even for beginners. I actually got this for Christmas last year and I've loved reading it. Okay, now we're moving up to presents in the £20 to £60 price bracket. First up, the John Lewis William Morris Strawberry Thief Sewing Basket in Navy, £38.50. I actually have this box in a different colourway. That William Morris Sewing Basket is exactly the same design. You can see how well used mine is. So it's a twin lid sewing basket with that gorgeous William Morris print. Perfect for a sewist, especially if you're just starting out and you don't have any storage yet. I love mine. Next, we're back to Merchant & Mills and some of their more substantial products. First up, we have their Select Notion box, which is £44. It's a beautiful embossed and printed box with some of their most favourite and useful notions. It comes with removable inserts, so you can use it for life as a sewing box. So actually, maybe you could forego William Morris. And inside you get a whole range of products. It'd be a beautiful gift to receive. Merchant & Mills also stock the most beautiful linens and cottons. They start from around £25 to £30 per metre. So if you've been eyeing up a particular fabric or planning a special project, then 2 or 3 meters of fabric from Merchant & Mills would just be the perfect present. Now, talking about beautiful fabrics, I was a bit reluctant when I was putting this wish list together to add fabric to it, just because I think purchasing fabric is such a personal choice. I feel like Liberty is very much the go-to, but Liberty isn't for everyone, and also some of their fabrics, particularly their silks, are so expensive. So I wanted to direct you to some other options that are equally beautiful but might feel a little bit more unique. So first up, we have Nani Iro via The Draper's Daughter. Nani Iro is a Japanese designer, and their designs are just, I can't describe them in any way other than the fact that they are absolutely beautiful. They tend to come as double gauze or other types of cotton. And looking at their range right now, I've picked out a couple of pieces that I think are really beautiful. This gorgeous striped fabric is £24 per metre. And then this silk fabric with beautiful painterly watercolour designs and contrasting border is £30 per metre. Then we have Coca, which is another brand designed in Japan and carried by the Draper's Daughter. They have beautiful cotton linens with polka dots and some floral designs, and these start at about £20 per metre. Then the Draper's Daughter also stocks Hoka, another Japanese brand. They do organic check cotton and polka dots again, around £20 per metre. I also just want to give an honourable mention to the Cloth House. This is fantastic for basics. They have some really beautiful cottons, linens and wools in lovely prints, stripes, checks, spots and florals. Their checks start from around £20 per metre going up to around £28 per metre. These are really good quality fabrics that will allow you to make basics that last. And as a bonus, they also have some really fun free patterns on their website. Things like a vest, a hat, a bag, and a sailor's collar. Subscription boxes are next. Subscription boxes are interesting because you're not going to be giving a physical box under the tree, but you are giving the gift of something that comes every single month. There are two gift boxes that I would recommend. The first one is the New Craft House monthly Deadstock subscription box. Bit of a mouthful. Every month you get an exclusive designer deadstock fabric, plus some notions and some pattern ideas. The fabric is always exclusive to the box, so they never sell it to anyone else. It's a really lovely way to have a sustainable subscription and to get fabrics that you wouldn't normally sew with. I actually have this subscription and I love it. Then you also have the Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe subscription box. This is £59 per month. This is along the same lines as the New Craft House box, but instead of deadstock fabric, you get different types of fabric. Plus, you'd get a pattern in addition with matching thread and normally some notions too. So really thoughtfully curated box. Electric scissors. I have found these scissors on Amazon for £45.29. They are rechargeable battery-powered scissors that come in a really cute carry case. They are really highly rated on Amazon in terms of the reviews. And I've also seen them highly recommended on independent sites as well. The reviews say that they are excellent for cutting through multiple layers of fabric with ease and also really helpful for people that struggle with dexterity and grip. Plus, it's noted that they are safer than regular scissors. So if you do a lot of cutting, this would be an amazingly thoughtful gift to make your life a lot easier. Okay, now we're moving on to some bigger ticket items. These are things that feel really substantial and special. This Maison Fauve gift box, which is £82.90 for sizes 34 to 46 or £82.90 for sizes 48 to 52. So this gift box, which is designed specifically for the Christmas season, you get a dress pattern, a beautiful jacquard fabric, which is an exclusive black and gold weave designed just for their Christmas 2025 capsule. But the box also contains interfacing, buttons, a zip, elastic, matching thread, and a microtex needle. It's literally everything that you need to complete this one project in a single box, and it would just be such a special gift to receive under the tree. Okay, now splurge gifts. We are talking £100 plus now. First of all, the Simplicity Bias Tape Maker. This is £125. Now I know what you're thinking, this is a lot for making bias tape, but I hate making bias tape. I always burn my fingers, it takes forever. Plus I have tried those tiny little gadgets from Amazon, you know, the little metal ones you feed the fabric through and then press as you go. They don't work. With this machine, you just feed in your fabric and it does it automatically. So you get consistent results with minimal effort. This is exactly the sort of sewing gadget I love. It comes with 4 bias binding tips, 2 quilt binding tips, adjustable heat settings for different fabrics, and an auto safety lock-off feature. So if you make garments with a lot of bias binding, this will be a fabulous gift to receive. Next, we have another gadget, which is an Oliso iron. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. At around £160 to £180. Okay, so this is a big one. But these irons are made specifically for people that sew. Here's why they are so special. It lifts and lowers at a touch of a button. This means no burns, reducing wrist strain, speeding up your pressing. They say that it's easy to clean, even if you're working with interfacing. They have accurate temperature options for different fabric types, ranging from synthetic through to organic fibers. Here's the really clever bit. It comes with a detailer tip, so that if you're doing really fine pressing, like bias tape, corners, fiddly seams, that you can be really precise with your pressing. If you're really serious about your sewing and you don't have one of these irons yet, they would be an amazing gift to receive. That is my complete Christmas gift guide for sewists in 2025. I've tried to include something for every budget. Everything I've mentioned is linked in the description below. And remember, if you are a sewist, Feel free to steal some of these ideas and buy stuff for yourself, but you could also tag your partner, your friends, your family, or send this video to them if they're thinking about buying you a sewing related gift, that you'll actually get something that you love and that you will use. If you want to see my delusional wish list with the really expensive aspirational stuff, I'm going to link it here. It's really fun, and honestly, we can all dream, right? Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please give it a like and remember to subscribe to my channel. I make videos about sewing, sustainable fashion, with a focus on creating designer inspired pieces. I'll see you in the next one. Happy sewing and happy holidays.